Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Appreciate you coming out. So we have 3 units to discuss here today at Tommy Time. One of the last projects I did was on this Ryobi. We changed out the cable and the brake bar. I'm waiting for the owner to come pick this fine machine up. 2005 Ryobi. I think she'll be happy with this. If she's not, I'll look at it again, but it is priming and starting. So Scrapper showed up, and I was out front, so I glanced at the trailer and saw this before he got out of the truck, and I thought, wow, this thing's practically brand new. And it is brand new. It's a 2022 unit. So I thought, wow, this is going to be a money maker. Somebody put bad fuel in it or let it sit and it won't start. I actually was going to buy some of these off of AliExpress. These hyper tough 20-inch baby cuts with this type wheel. But I went with Cenex and Remington instead. These were a little bit more money. I went with the cheaper options. So looks are deceiving. If you can see that. Maybe you can't. But there's a big hole in the block. You don't want a big hole in the block. You don't want to take a pen from Scott and be able to stick it all the way through the engine. So Scrapper got this off another scrapper. The original scrapper said the owner did not put oil in it. And when these come in the box, they give you a little bottle of oil. You got to add oil. So they ran it with no oil. Apparently. So I gave 10 for this. He said, oh, you could put another engine on it. The deck is in great shape, which is true. I could dig up another short shaft, which I think I have a couple of these short shaft engines. The blade, and use the blade adapter. I didn't even look underneath. Why don't we do that? It's just that I think they added oil after the fact to try to salvage this thing. I'm just afraid oil's going to pour out of the 2022, but let's see. Well, heck, we'll do the finger test. There is some down there. So let's just try to turn this over. Let me get you situated here. Move you over to the other side, and then we have 2 Toro recyclers to discuss. I got Mowers coming out of my ears. Sold one this week. Nice guy came out for a baby 20, actually, like this, a Boland's. He said, I'd really like to have a bag. So I had a Murray 21-inch standard pusher with a bag. He took that for $140. So I upsold him. He was coming for a 120 unit. He got a bigger unit with a bag for 20 bucks more. So let me try just gently tipping this back and look for oil coming out. Okay, blades there. Hardly used, of course. Scrapper thinks they got 20 minutes out of this thing before it blew up. I thought it would be less, but he said he watches Project Farm, which is another YouTube guy that tests all kinds of junk. He says he thinks they'll run 20 minutes without oil. So that's the story on this beautiful looking machine. I could use this recoil on an older machine and it would still have this new appearance. So I could even use the adapter off of this. It's not rusty. Put it on the other engine that I come up with. I've got a couple that have fallen through rusty decks, and I've salvaged the engine for future projects. Let's look at this model number: Mike November Alpha 152516. Supplier stock HT Hyper Tough, not Harbor Tough, Hyper Tough 21-401-001-01. And there's your serial number. Usually they have the engine number there, but I think it's over here now. I'll try to focus that in for you. Maybe not. It's the model 08 Papa 5020152 Frank 1 is the engine number. Okay, there's nothing we can really talk about on this because it's dead. The only thing that I thought about, will this thing even turn over? I'm going to try pulling the bail bar back and see if this thing turns over. It might come to a dead stop. Yep. It comes to a stop. Wow. That's too bad. Too bad on that hyper crap. Okay, let's go down the row here, or road, and figure out what this batch of crap is next. Toro recycler here on this one. This one here was dragging as far as the wheels. Just notice this zippy tie on the transmission. I don't know, is that because the blade belt is stretched out? Oh, I think I know why. The cable's broken. So somebody tried to probably manipulate the transmission to stay in gear. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. 2013 Kohler powered Toro Model 20371. 20371 on this thing. There is moisture down there. Looks kind of crappy, like there's some sediment down in the bottom of the tank, but there's no fuel in it. It's just a little wet. Okay. The main issue I see with this 2013 happens to be up here at the bail bar. Okay, what do we got here? We got one Z-bend cable. It's got a crack right there, but it still seems like it's solid. What's this one? This one's kind of wrapped around backwards. Oh, this one here is broken. It's just pulling through the conduit. So that's the front wheel drive. Front wheel drive cable is broken. So that's what this zippy tie business was. Maybe they tried to rectify it. But down here it's rusty. I can't pull it through, so it broke somewhere down here. I'm trying to pull this end through and I can't do it. Okay, we got some red tape, which generally means danger. I don't know what that's doing. But there's a big air gap here. Why? This should be resting up here in that track. Oh, we got my neighborhood scrapper going by. I had bought 4 mowers with him, or from him, and he just kept going. I didn't see anything on his trailer. I was hoping he was going to come to a complete stop. So what's going on here? Let's get focused. We got a huge amount of slack in the safety brake cable, and it appears somebody put it in the wrong hole. You can see the rust there. So that would explain you got that much of a gap here, which corresponds with the amount of gap down here. So why did somebody do that? Let me remove the bail bar. Let me get a razor blade. Let's get serious on this thing and put it back the way it should go. Cut this stupid tape off and move the bail bar up, and that'll take up the slack in the cable. Unwrap it from here. That doesn't need to be wrapped twice. Okay, let's stop messing around. We got a Briggs & Stratton powered machine to look at next. Okay. Kind of the end of the day. Right now I'm wrapping up my projects. I did get my tetanus shot. Okay, let's start fresh. We're going to put this back in the holes that it should. Get the other side started. Put my Z-bend in first and then put it in this hole. Okay, I just broke that cable. So see how that works. Went in the right hole, and ta-da, we got 2 broken cables. So this was held on a thread. I just finished it off. So that sucks. We need 2 new cables. Let me get some vice grips. Get this thing to start. Okay, no filter. We're missing a nut here on the backing plate, and a bunch of moisture there. I don't know if that's oil, but let's go over and check oil, because I see oil pouring out of it. Maybe we're overfilled. So we're not getting anywhere on this thing, are we? as you recall, when you check in the dipstick on these, get rid of some of this dirt. You put the dipstick on the threads, you don't screw it down. So we're within reason here. It's above the bottom mark. It could use a dash more. Remember, these are oil and air cooled engines. The more oil, up to the full mark, of course, not 3/4 overfilled. The more oil is going to help cool the engine down, but don't overfill them. I just put my finger in your face. Okay, so let me grab a can of Happy Juice, which I have not brought out, but I have it here, and vice grips. Vice grips are the tool of the day today. Let me see, what do we got? Okay, we got them. I'm going to take a zippy tie with me just in case this doesn't work. We'll zippy tie this. So if we rectify the cable here, maybe we'll have action on the front wheel drive. I think that's exactly what they did. They pulled up pressure here to have it engage all the time with this zippy tie. But it probably didn't work very well. It didn't get this thing super tight. There was still a lot of slack in the cable. So beautiful day today in Southwest Florida. We've got Delta coming to town, bringing a lot of people. They'll spend boatloads of money, and hopefully my property taxes don't go up next year. Okay, so that should take the linkage off the kill wire enough to start. Let me just put these wheels up a notch. I am in the sand. Just to get them up, get the blade off the ground. All right. We can Happy Juice it, see if it starts. And maybe I have fuel around. I think I do. Okay, let's go. Okay. It did kick off. It didn't sound the best. It had kind of like a banging kickoff. I got just enough fuel, I think, to put in here to try it. We're getting down to the bare minimum. Hopefully I don't need it for that other Toro. I think I got another container nearby. Okay, that covered the bottom. That should have been enough to fill the bowl. Automatic choke, no priming. Looks like everything is free and clear as far as the linkages. Everything's moving. Let me pull on it. Okay, start install. I just removed the plug wire. I just didn't like the sound of that. I'm going to rotate the blade here and see if I can feel any play in the connecting rod bearing. I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything out of place, so it needs a carb clean. I'm going to try it one more time on its own. Okay, nothing on its own. So probably this thing should have been running. If I'm the one that broke the safety brake cable, this thing should have been running up till the end. I would have been pulling on this all day long. I'm glad 3 of you told me, dum-dum, the wire's off the plug. I don't know, kind of bangy. We'll have to look at this one. I got some bike parts thrown into the deal, no extra costs. So here we go. We got another Toro. Today is Toro Recycler Day. 2010 Briggs & Stratton engine. It's the model 20334 on the Toro model. Toro model 20334. Fine looking 2010. This is probably 675 on the Briggsy. If you guys run the number for me, the engine's the 128 Tango 05-3123 -Bravo 1. Built 5th month, 5th day of 2010, 5/5/2010. Got oil, doesn't look bad. We've got all the electric start goober stuff. Probably the battery charger there. The keys even in it. Let's look this around. Safety brakes working. I'm just looking at the drive cable. Drive isn't doing anything because there's too much slack in this. That would have to be adjusted. Yeah, I don't think we got any drive action. Okay, it rolls. Rear wheel drive, there's still a lot of tread on this. Any fuel in it? What do we need to do to this thing? Oh, it's got fuel. We could take a fuel sample. We'll do that. Take a fuel sample. Honda cover. I don't know what that was doing on the Turo, but we'll save that for future use. Somebody's missing their Honda air filter cover. Okay, fuel sample first. Let's concentrate. Don't get sidetracked. Grab my turkey baster. Looking for a container. I have a container, but it's not the best. It's got snot in the bottom already from another machine. Let's just see if we can see water and not worry about contamination. I think I see a layer. This might have water in it. Doesn't smell bad. It's murky, but that's all the snot that was in there originally. I'm just shaking it up. Yeah, I thought that murkiness was water. It might be pure fuel. We'll let that settle out, but poor experimentation on my part. Should start with a clean receptacle. Let me remove the air filter. Sorry, I had a driver here a minute ago. Now I do. So maybe this thing will start. Maybe the self-propelled wouldn't work for them and they said the hell with this piece of shit and they got rid of it. Cockroaches have been in here. You see all that right there. The cockroaches ate the paper. So this thing's been sitting really dry and crumbly. Could be the original filter. Actually, they stuck a Honda filter in here, which is roughly the same size. Usually the blue is what Briggs is using for color, but they're almost identical, I believe. Okay, so this is just a regular automatic choke. The throttle wave removed. It's got fuel. Let's just pull on it and see if it does anything now. It's got a champion plug. Let's just pull on it now without doing anything and see if it kicks off. Okay, felt like good compression. Let's juice it. Let's juice it. Little bit of smoke. You saw that it fired off and stalled, so the carb needs to be cleaned on this. Let's do a little experiment. I want to take a 11 millimeter, adjust this cable. I'll lift up on the back end here, and then we'll fire it off again with another shot of juice. I just want to see if the rear end here engages. Let me tighten up the handle. It came down with the handle folded down. Oh, the Home Depot repair. Call or go to www.thdrepair.com. It's got a reconditioned number on it. I think the other Kohler powered one did as well. That's kind of coincidental. Both of these units had recons done to them. Back in 2011, this is a 2010 model number, so they had it a year and it needed work. This one had one too, somewhere, I think. Yes, it did. Recon on this one, 2013, which I think this is a 2013 model year. It is a 2013, so they didn't get very far and the thing needed service. Okay, let me grab an 11. Let's stay focused. Small engine repair is important. Don't get sidetracked. Got to get an 11. We'll make a slight adjustment to that. Cable and see if we have some action. Okay, I got 11. Open and wrench. Okay, this is loose. Okay, there we go. Okay. Something's not right. I'm just looking around here to figure out why it's not, oh, I don't know. Something's off whacked. I don't know, guys, something's off track here. I don't know why. I'll have to look at this. I think something under here got turned around, actually, so I can't do anything to try this thing out. Let me just take a quick look. I think the issue's up here on the personal pace handle. Something got turned around. Blade's flat. I really can't see anything because there's a plastic cover here. So I can't engage. Anyway, sorry, that came to a screeching halt. Can't do anything. I gotta check this out again. This personal pace thing, I think, is a little backwards up on the handle. I gotta go look at another personal pace machine with this setup and look at cable routing. I think it's messed up under here. This thing right here. The spring tension is still good. That's not broken. Have a good day. Thanks for coming out. So what do you think? I don't know if I told you what I paid, did I? I paid $50. $20 for the complete unit. So $20. He threw in the parts. I guess he threw in the bag too, because I didn't pay him extra for the bag. So $20 and $10 for this. Basically, I'm getting some parts, engine parts, and a good deck for another machine. So next season, the baby 20, that'll bring me 120 or maybe 130, just because the deck's in excellent condition. I could probably squeeze somebody for 130 on this. Too bad about the oil. Usually there's a sticker up here, and then it says in the instructions, add oil. I guess they didn't want to add oil. They wanted to save it for a rainy day. Thanks for coming out. $50 for 3. That's where we are on this. Just to give you model numbers again, this Toro here is a 2010 model, Toro Model 20334. And the one with the bag there with the Kohler, that's a 2013. And that model number, 20371, 20371. On that fine hunk of junk with 2 broken cables. One came broken, and then I finished the other one off, so shit happens. Have a good day today. Thanks. Come back and see me. We'll talk about junk on 4 wheels again tomorrow. Have a good day, and as always tip your waitress and wait staff. They do an awesome job. Thank you. Goodbye.